Wednesday, February 22nd, Ash Wednesday. A reading from Isaiah, the 58th chapter, verses 1 through 12. True fasting. Shout it aloud, do not hold back. Raise your voice like a trumpet. Declare to my people their rebellion, and to the descendants of Jacob their sins. For day after day they seek me out. They seem eager to know my ways, as if they were a nation that does what is right and has not forsaken the commands of God. They ask me for just decisions and seem eager for God to come near them. Why have we fasted, they say, and you have not seen it? Why have we humbled ourselves, and you have not noticed? Yet on the day of your fasting, you do as you please and exploit all your workers. Your fasting ends in quarreling and strife, and in striking each other with wicked fists. You cannot fast as you do today and expect your voice to be heard on high. Is not this the kind of fasting I have chosen? To loose the chains of injustice and untie the cords of the yoke, to set the oppressed free and break every yoke? Is it not to share your food with the hungry and to provide the poor wanderer with shelter, when you see the naked to clothe them, and not to turn away from your own flesh and blood? Then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your healing will quickly appear. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. Then you will call, and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help, and he will say, Here am I. If you do away with the yoke of oppression, with the pointing finger and malicious talk, and if you spend yourselves in energy in behalf of the hungry, and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become like noonday. The Lord will guide your ways. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You'll be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You'll be called Repairer of broken walls, Restorer of streets with dwellings. For reflection, sacrifice. Today is Ash Wednesday. It marks the beginning of Lent, the holy season of self-reflection, sacrifice, self-denial, and repentance, all in preparation for the joyous celebration of Easter. There is a tradition of fasting associated with Lent. Many people will avoid certain foods. Fasting, however, can go beyond what is or isn't eaten. It can also involve other areas of consumption. Some will give up watching TV or suspend participating in a favorite activity. There are many choices. The real question about these sacrifices is simply, why do you do them in the first place? Possible goals are to live a healthier lifestyle, lose weight, or change focus on what we do with our time. All admirable endeavors. The purpose of the fast in today's reading from Isaiah is to seek out God. The reaction from God is shocking. His messenger basically says, You are rebellious, sinful people, and you are doing the fast all wrong. This must have dumbfounded them. They were following the rules about fasting and sacrifice and could not figure out why God was not responding. The irony is that they wanted to get God's attention, but now God has their full attention. The complaints point out that their lifestyle changes were relatively brief and that they still put the burdens on others. In a way, God questioned how they can consider it fasting if they were going to eventually consume it anyway, only just a little later. The real concept of fasting is laid out as being the sharing of what is given up. An analogy can be seen in giving up going to the movies for Lent. It is not a sacrifice if you still have the money you would have spent at the theater. To complete the sacrifice, you must share it with those in need. Skip the movie and give the money away. This Lent, challenge yourself to practice a new discipline starting today. As you choose, please don't forget to consider how your discipline can benefit those around you.